Real simple conversation today. Late stage capitalism is nothing more than the poor and the rich agreeing with each other that they're going to play this free market folly, which is capitalism, and then the rich end up rigging that system, exploit our labor for their profit, and then they can, I hope I'm using this word right, like inadvertently own us by us losing the game so much that we're basically in debt to the system, but they own the system as well. So they own us through a system that was supposed to be fair. That's the only reason why we agreed. We never agreed. They imposed it after they colonized our communities and our own economic systems that exist beyond exploitation and modern day plantations. But late stage capitalism, forgive me, if capitalism is the tool, like the extraction tool that powerful people or the conquerors of society or an environment use to continue to basically extract the intangible resources of the environment with whatever technology or like human beings they can own as a means of doing it for them, then late stage capitalism is poor people just waking up and realizing, oh, we have been playing this game and we don't have resources to keep playing the game. But somehow you don't play the game like us and you have all these resources that you don't use. So now we're going to beg you through like politics and these bullshit debate bros for that money back. And we're going to try to create a federal government to hold you accountable to, because we, the poor people, are too divided and afraid of you, the rich and powerful, to just hold you accountable ourselves. Clap it up for Luigi. American hero. And then fascism is just the part of the journey where we have literally sacrificed every single resource that we do have. So our complete salvation is codependent onto the master that we've traded our reality into. I hope I'm saying this right. Into an exchange for whatever like sedative philosophies and bullshit religions they were feeding us as a means of keeping us asleep while they were stealing shit right behind our backs. There's a very interesting quote somebody came up with. I don't know who it is or if this is even directly it, but they're saying, speaking, referencing like the African slaves when the colonizer came in, they were saying that while they told us to pray, to close our eyes and to bow our heads, they ran behind us and they stole our land and resources. And that's basically like the process of colonization is introduced and you're conquered by like the most disgusting, radically nasty war crimes ever. And then we institute new owners of that system. And then we do capitalism to act like there's fair free market competition. So we involve the poors in their own oppression. And then we enslave the poors to the system so we can own them through the system instead of owning them directly master to slave style. Through a bunch of like indirectly orchestrated chains. And then once they've completely lost all control, the ultimate salvation for those people will be convenience. And isn't it an amazing time to integrate something like artificial intelligence into a society that is seeking their ultimate form of salvation right now? Because the only two things it can be, because most of these guys are in religious psychosis, are blonde Jesus, somehow going to save your black ass, never going to happen, and artificial intelligence. If you want to address these kinds of conversations, just ask yourself or figure out if you can identify what the transaction of the relationship is and who has the intangible value first that the capitalist who can't produce that intangible value themselves is trying to extract it from. Who has that value and why? How is society built around releasing or obstructing them having protections for the sake of predatory, powerful people being able to use them at their fetishistic desires? And an even more interesting perspective of that is I don't want you guys to be so hell-bent, like pushed to the right, that you guys think that the only answer to the only solution to our problems is going hard left. I'm not saying any of this promoting American politics. I'm just saying, like, I want you to realize that we are in a traumatized, psychotic position, especially as poor people. Poverty is I think poverty is some type of human rights violation because it's manufactured. Homelessness is too. But we're going to have that conversation in another video. what I was trying to say with that last part is that you guys might not want these political philosophies, like the alternative philosophies that you're being fed, as a means of subverting from or detouring from capitalism. Maybe we just have to look at who's been in power, a very specific group of people, and how they just keep fucking it up, but then never being forced to take accountability, because the God that's we're all waiting to save us looks just like them and keeps protecting them from that, but punishing us for the problems that they create. Who's perpetuating the system and who benefits the most from it, especially from its destruction?